last night it went down. All right, the big Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor event of the century took place. I'm gonna start off by saying it did live up to the hype, which a lot of people thought it wouldn't. A lot of people thought it'd just be completely like a fucking one-sided type boxing match where Floyd Mayweather was just going to dominate and embarrass Conor McGregor. But it really wasn't like that. To a degree, depending on how you look at it, you could say Conor kind of got embarrassed considering all the shit he was talking. And I talked about it before. It's like, it's one thing, hyping up the fight, but when you run around saying you're going to knock somebody out in the first round or you're going to run through that person and that person is just too small, they just too fucking small, right? But when you lose to a TKO, like, so if you're a Conor fan, you believe in all this shit, like, oh yeah, Floyd is too small. Floyd hands is too brittle. Floyd can't hit and all that shit. So on that level, but it seems so far like everybody's kind of like praising Conor, for making it 10 rounds and then finally getting stopped in the 10th round, via TKO. So it was a good fight. I picked Floyd Mayweather to win like a lot of other people did, so I ain't like I'm special. I am special though. But yeah, overall, I mean, it did live up to the hype. After the fight, Conor was the only gripe he had was he felt that the referee should have let the fight go a little longer. And this is where you need to realize that he needed to realize that this shit wasn't UFC. Yeah, in the UFC, motherfucker, you get thrown up against the cage, hit 30 times, and then finally the ref will stop you or whatever. But in boxing terms, that looked like a normal stop. That they would have stopped that if that was anybody getting hit and beat up on the ropes like that. That's just what I've seen in the past and shit, to be honest with you. So, of course, Conor fans are going to be like, yeah, man, he's fucking tough, man. They should have fucking let him, keep fighting and shit, And I'm like, I mean, that was boxing, though. You should have known, like, that could happen. The referee can stop the fight, right? You should know that shit. But being fair, Conor did look good. In the early rounds, he looked better than, well, I thought he looked good. I thought he would kind of fight the way he fight because in the UFC, he do awkward shit and this shit, he was doing all this shit. All this shit. And, which I think it helped. But I think what a lot of people was missing because of the fact people was like, yo, yeah, what about all the people that said he wouldn't hit Mayweather one damn time? What about that? But if you listen to Mayweather, he said pre and post interview, especially post interview, he said, with the strategy I'm going to use to beat this motherfucker, he's going to hit me. So if his strategy is to be like, well, I know I'm going to get hit, why would people be surprised when Conor hits him? It's like he's basically saying, you know what, I'm going to take Conor's shit. And actually, if you really think about it, it makes Floyd look better because if you think about the strategy, he's saying, yeah, I'm basically going to take all his shit. I'm going to take all his punches, right? And then near the end of the fight, I'm just going to beat his ass, get it stopped, or knock him out. Think about that for a second. He said it. He said it. And if you look at the first few rounds, everybody, even the broadcasters, was like, yo, Floyd is like, he's not the same. He's not looking the same. He's not fighting the way he normally do because he wasn't fighting the way he normally fights and shit. So if you look at it from that angle, to me, Floyd deserves more props. So even with Conor talking about him being old as hell, hands being brittle, and he too small, he beat him. And he beat him fair and square. So now people wondering like what Conor gonna do now, because technically with all the hype around Conor a bad motherfucker. Much respect to him. Don't get me wrong. The UFC a bad boy, But if you think about it, in the last 2 years, he's been beaten. and he's supposed to be the fucking best of the best, right? He got beat by Diaz, and he just got beat by Mayweather, even though he was expected to lose. So where do we go from here? And in the UFC, you got 3, I think, potential fights. You got the Tony Ferguson fight. You got the Kevin Lee. Well, 4. Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson, Khabib, and you got Nate Diaz 3. I think he's probably going to go with the trilogy fight against Nate Diaz because he already beat Nate Diaz and he probably feels comfortable fighting him. Now, Khabib is a bad motherfucker. If you're watching this and you're a boxing fan, look up Khabib if you're still in the MMA shit. Look up Khabib, look up Tony Ferguson. Then will be some tough-ass fights for Conor. And personally, Conor got to win his next fight, man, on some real shit. Conor got to win it. He got to win his next fight, man. Fuck the bullshit, seriously. You know, all this hype, all that shit you talk. I'm just saying. But anyway, much respect to Mayweather and McGregor. It was a damn good show. It actually lived up to the hype, and it was worth the $99 that was spent. It was worth it. What do you think?